Viewers, welcome to our weekly cricket talk show, Cricket Central, and this is your host, Vas Masood, from a chilly Sunday morning in USA, where temperature is -2. I'm talking to a very special guest of us, Mr. Haroon Rasheed, who is at much warmer temperature at Karachi. I think where temperature is, 26, and very glad to have him with us today. We all know about Mr. Haroon Rasheed. He is an ex-Pakistan Test cricketer and one-day cricketer, but also has been involved in Pakistan cricket for a long time in different categories. He has been involved in the junior level, senior level as a selector, and also as administrator, and also as a coach. So welcome, Mr. Haroon Rasheed. Thanks for your time for us.
Thank you, Wes, for having me in your show, and it is always a pleasure to be with you.
Okay, let's talk about first thing first. So saga of Champion Trophy going on still has not been resolved. But my feeling and the information I'm getting that it will end up with the hybrid model which India is asking for. Because I think end of the day, it's an ICC event and they make the final decision. And we like it or not, but money talks. And when there's a power, there is no rules, and rules can be broken, and that's going to happen. And we will end up having a hybrid model. So India is not coming to Pakistan. What do you think, Harun?
I think it has been a long. I think I remember that since long India has been refusing to come over to Pakistan. Reasons not known. There is a conflicting remarks coming out from a Foreign Office of India and the BCCI Foreign Office saying that this is the BCCI which is saying we are not interested to go to Pakistan because of the security reasons, and BCCI is saying has been saying for the last about 10-15 years that it is the government which is not allowing us to go to Pakistan. Otherwise, we are ready to go. So I think there is something wrong. This is a whole political issue. They don't want to come to Pakistan. With the fact that over the last 5-10 years, you see all the top teams they came over to Pakistan. They had a very good time. They had good cricket. They had a good hospitality here. So there is no reason that India should say that they are not going to come to Pakistan, and they are still adamant not to come over here. But still, I think we'll have to have a solution out of this. So if Pakistan this time, I think Pakistan took a strong stand. Hopefully, the outcome would be that next time Pakistan team will also not go to India, and Pakistan matches in India. If India is staging any international event or ICC event, Pakistan matches will be played outside India. So this is probably will be a win-win situation for Pakistan if the ICC agree to it.
Yes, India is going to arrange three ICC events in the next 6 years. In 2026, they're going to have ICC T20 World Cup. In 2009, they're going to have a Champions Trophy, and 31 the Cricket World Cup. If they agree to the same scenario for Pakistan, in that case, Pakistan will have this match playing outside India, like Bangladesh or Sri Lanka, which is, I mean, India has to lose more. But one thing is for sure, who knows what happens by 26? India can say, okay, yes, we agree to that, but in 26, by 26 or after that, who knows who's in charge of Pakistan cricket and what happens. And also, rules are made to be broken, particularly with powerful people. So India can refuse at the same time. So right now, India can accept that, but who knows what would happen later. But one thing is sure that India is not coming to Pakistan, and Champions Trophy will be held on a hybrid model. Do you think so?
Yeah, I think so. This is going to happen in the end. Probably, stakes are very high. It's not that, that they can do without Pakistan as well. And Pakistan also knows that, this is a situation where Pakistan get a lot of, financial benefits. They can, put them some conditions. Okay, on these conditions we are going to come. Our hosting rights will not be, taken over from us. And then, the even extra share of money should be coming to Pakistan in case of these things. And then, mind you, it is not going to be easy for India as well. If Pakistan not going to India, Pakistan India match is a sellout in 5-10 minutes. If you look at Ahmedabad situation, there were over 100,000 people watching Pakistan India playing in India in the last 50 overs World Cup. So I think the main sufferer would be the fans. So Indian government should see, like you just said, that next 3 years we don't know what is going to happen, but things could go in a favorable condition for both the countries. Maybe there should be some political dialogue. They come sit together, and they can do something. Whatever is happening in between the two countries at the political front. So once that is resolved, probably I think then the cricket relationships would be will restart again. So we should think in a positive way and hope that India, this sense should prevail somewhere in the Indian political government, because they are putting a lot of pressure to the BCCI. How can BCCI deny that Indian government is saying not to go? So Indian government can put the blame on BCCI, but BCCI cannot put the blame on the government that because of their instructions we are reluctant to go to Pakistan. So this is a very dicey situation. I think on the political front we cannot say anything because we are not political person. So I am only talking on behalf of sports and sports loving people. My only concern is that billions or trillions of fans across the globe, they would suffer because India Pakistan not playing cricket in Pakistan and India. Look, Pakistan India play everywhere in the world. Within seconds, within minutes, tickets are sold out. Grounds are jam packed. Whether it is Australia, whether they are playing in England, whether they are playing in West Indies or America, wherever it is. So this is for me. I'm feeling hurt about this. That that cricket fans are deprived of watching live Pakistan India cricket in Pakistan and India if Pakistan accepts this offer and don't go to India.
Yes, I'm old enough to remember that when India came to Lahore in 1977, actually in all Lahore, they were like a festival, like an atmosphere. People were happy. Actually, I see the Indian spectators, the followers, they were like in Lahore, they enjoying Lahore, and the same in Karachi. So I think Indians are very welcome here, Indian spectator and your team also. So you're right. I mean, the suffer are the cricket, spectators and followers. And unfortunately, it's being all the decisions are made by politicians, both countries, in Pakistan and India, particularly in India. So let's see. But good thing is that Champions Trophy going to be held at time, and at hybrid model. That's the reality. So let's move on. So Test cricket, World Cricket Championship is getting closer. And now a lot of cricket is being played, Test cricket. I'm happy with that. Last night I was watching New Zealand and England Test match. England beat New Zealand. At the same time, Bangladesh is playing West Indies and South Africa is playing Sri Lanka. But the most important, most watched Test series going on in Australia, where border Gavaskar Trophy is being played. Haroon, are you watching and following that trophy or that series?
Yes, I think Test cricket is all about cricket is about Test cricket. I would say if you talk to every cricketer who has played cricket, this is the ultimate cricket. I think, and you cannot stop watching this. So I really enjoyed watching India playing Australia and India dominating, and then England, New Zealand playing against each other. England dominating, and over there in South Africa, I think Sri Lanka, South Africa played an extremely good cricket over there. So the interesting thing is with this Test cricket going on, the Test Championship has become very very interesting because the percentage points are so narrow and so close to each other that at this particular juncture we cannot say which two teams are going to play in the Test Championship, because South Africa winning, England winning, and then India winning. So things are very, very at a very interesting stage because Sri Lanka moving ahead, South Africa moving ahead, England moving ahead. So they are putting pressure on Australia and India. But if you come to cricket, I think India is playing outstanding cricket. I mean, their young guns are coming of age. For them, international cricket is just like domestic cricket. The way their youngsters are taking part in this and excelling. This is very very encouraging. I think India at the moment is able to put I think across three equal teams. I mean, good teams to play at each format. Their two teams are playing at one time. One is playing Test cricket, the other was playing T20 cricket. So look at the talent they have. So I think India is going to dominate in the next 2 or 3 years with the help of these young fast bowlers coming up, then these young batters coming up. So if you compare it with the other countries, I mean, this is not happening in Australia. This is not happening in England. This is not happening in New Zealand, because they are still relying on their old horses. You know, uh, New Zealand's former captain, he's still Williamson is still the best player they have. And if you look at the Australian, they're still relying on those three fast bowlers. All these throw balls, whether it's Stark, whether it is the other two bowlers, the captain
Yeah,
Cummins. So,
and that's a
whereas
good,
if you
yeah.
look at it, every second day they're coming, with some new faces, and they are doing well at the international level.
You're right. I mean, the World Test Championship is getting more interesting now. After the loss of New Zealand and Sri Lanka, I think only three teams has realistic chance of making the final, which will be played at Lords in June. So again, you're right. So the Test match at Perth, which India won very convincingly. I know a lot to talk about. A lot has been talked about this, but let me ask you also: were you expecting that India will win that? I mean, that with a big margin over there?
Look, if you go back in the history, the only problem with the subcontinent team going to Australia was they never had the strength of fast bowling. If you look at that, India used to have some dominant spinners throughout. If you go back to 80s or 70s, but
Vedi and
once
Co.
the
Like,
advent of Kapil Dev and company and the MRF Foundation established by Dennis Lilly, from there, they have started training fast bowling, because they realized that until and unless they don't have good fast bowlers, pace bowlers in their squad, they produce excellent batsmen. If you look at the history, whether it's Gavaskar, whether it's Vishwanath, whether it is Vengsakar, Tendulkar, Sehwag, Ganguly, you name it. But when it comes to the fast bowlers, they used to have Abid Ali. They used to have Solkar. They were medium paces, just medium paces. But
yeah,
once
Gabri and
Kapil Dev dominated,
Madan
yes,
Lal.
When
Yes, right.
Kapil Dev dominated the scene, and all of a sudden, there was a buzz in the Indian cricket fraternity that every bowler, young fast bowlers taking up fast bowling, which was not there before that. But once they see there is a hero over there, Kapil Dev did well, they won the World Cup. So from there onwards, if you look, Zahir Khan, then Munaf, and now these three fast bowlers. I think they are outstanding. Bumrah is, I think, at top of the world now at the moment, with his shorter runner, with his slinging action, with his fast shoulder, high arm action. I mean, he is creating problems because they are getting the same help. So when you are bowling on a pitches which is helping fast bowlers, irrespective whoever is playing against you, they will find difficult. That is why Australian batsmen found it difficult to pace up, to match up with the Indian fast bowling, which was a class act, I would say.
So that was my next question. Actually, you answered partially, but I want you to be a little more precise. What separates Bumrah from other fast bowler? He's not like a express, but he is very effective, better than any other fast bowler right now.
Because there are very few bowlers who can bowl with the new ball as well as the old ball. So, what differentiate Bumrah with the others? That he's equally good with the new ball when he's bowling with the new ball, and he's equally good when he's bowling with the old ball with the reverse swing coming into play. So, and then his shorter run up, it is deceptive for a batsman, because as a batter, I would say, oh, he's coming from about 15, 20 yards. So how can he bowl a fast bowler like, 140, 142, and consistently? And then the other thing is that he doesn't give you any room. He is attacking you all the time on the off stump, the area which is batsman is vulnerable. So that is why if you look at Bumrah's wickets, It is all there on the offside. Either it is LBWs, or in the slip cordon, or maybe one odd bouncers, miss hook, and you get a fielder over there at the square leg. So I think this is where I would say that Bumrah is different from other fast bowlers, because they are not as good as Bumrah with both the balls, with the new ball and the old ball. So this was the difference, I would say, that Bumrah is creating right now.
So, okay, the coming is Adelaide test, which will be a night test with a pink ball, which I think swings more. So I think Bumrah will be a threat over there too, maybe even more.
Yeah, I think it is going to be dicey, because I can tell you that the players, they are not happy playing with the pink ball. Uh, I mean, they are ICC is trying to get the spectators to come and watch cricket, and they are trying to use this night cricket as a test cricket format, but so far they haven't been successful. Except for Australia, I hardly see any other country is trying to play with the ping ball. So there is one whenever they play under the light, this pink ball becomes very very difficult for the batters to cope. So that is where, if you see that whenever there is a test match with the pink ball, this the 2 or 3 hour session is very very difficult for the batters. So because they have been scheduled like this, so both the teams had to play this. I mean, India played today this practice match against the Prime Minister 11, and they fared pretty well. So yes, I mean, this will help. This will help both the teams. I mean, both the fast bowlers from the both side will definitely try to get the maximum during that period where the ball starts swinging. The pink ball under lights becomes very very deceptive for the batsman.
Okay, we'll see. But you know Australian, you have played against them, you know them well. I mean, you know their DNA. You think they will come back strong and they will try to win back this series, which they have lost many years ago, this trophy. And what do you think? What you anticipating the rest of the matches?
I would say that that Australia somewhat has gone down, because their prime batters, they have retired. Warner gone, a new chap has come in. He's struggling to strengthen his. He has been playing very well in the domestic level, and then there have been injuries. Mitchell Marsh is not 100%, and then except for Travis Head, the other openers and the other batters, they feel very, very, they're not feeling confident enough to cope the Indian bowlers. Labuschagne, their mainstay, has been struggling with the form. So these are the few factors which are going against Australia. And to me, I think that Australian fast bowlers, these three fast bowlers, have been playing cricket for the last 8, 10 years. So I think they are on the downhill side as well. So this is another advantage that Indian batters would face, because Adelaide pitch is good for batting. There is no doubt there is a bounce, but it is not seam movement like we have seen in the Perth. So I would say India would start this match as a favorite, but you
Oh,
cannot
you think
say
so?
that
Okay.
Australia cannot make a comeback.
Okay, we move on to different topic, but before we move to other topic, let's say just a quick word from you regarding this young opener, Jaiswal. What do you think future lies for him?
Outstanding. I think outstanding. The best thing for a new comer or a youngster is that he should be composed. He should be, confident enough to attack the opposition. And this is what Jaiswal has been doing. I think he doesn't leave any, loose ball. He's not scared who's bowling at him. He is playing to the merit of the ball, irrespective whether it is Cummins bowling or Stark bowling, or any other bowlers are bowling against him. So this is one good aspect which I am is watching India for the last 2 3 years, and I'm also watching their A teams and also their under 19 teams. This aspect has been there. Their players are very aggressive. If you look at the T20 format, that chap scored back-to-back centuries against South Africa. They scored 284 runs in 20 overs. So this shows that the new crop coming in as a batter, or as a bowlers, I think this is a plus point. They find it difficult to make the playing 11, because Ashwin sitting out, Jadeja sitting out. Can you think that these two players India can spare and leave them out of the playing 11? No way. So this shows the strength of their bench. So I think this is where I could see the next 2 to 3 years. It is going to be India ruling the world.
Haroon, you have played and watched different captains captaining their teams. Uh, I mean, fast bowlers are rarely captain their team. But you think that as a whole, not just a particular fast bowler captain, their style is different. We saw Bumrah. He was so aggressive. He opted to bat first at in Perth. And you have seen Cummins. He has won the World Cup. You have seen Kapil Dev was great captain. Imran Khan was great captain. Did you see any difference between fast bowler as a captain and batsman as a captain?
It is but natural. You see, fast bowlers being aggressive in approach, they take that approach towards every cricket they are playing, whether they're captaining the side or they are bowling as a main bowler for their side. So I think these fast bowlers, if you look at Pakistanis as well, whenever Wasim Akram or Imran Khan captaining or the other fast bowlers captaining, they bring aggression. They just don't fear of they don't fear that they are going to lose. So this is a very
Yeah.
very good aspect. And then if you are lucky enough, you have enough number of batters who can bat, and then you have your backup bowling strength. Look, if Bumrah is not getting wickets, there is Siraj. If he's not getting wickets, there is another third fast bowler, a newcomer coming in, Rana. So this is how they complement each other. And fast bowlers on a good tracks, if I would say that with seaming pitches, with fast bowling oriented pitches, it is likely to happen that every fourth, fifth delivery, getting an edge, coming in, hitting the pads or hitting the wickets. So there are chances that on such wickets you get wickets. So in Test cricket, you need to get 20 wickets. So once you have the armory on a good supporting pitches, you get it. Now look at, if I take you back to India, when they were playing their last series in India, they lost all the matches because they played on a spinning track. So when you play on a spinning track, it is not going to be easy because the batsmen get a lot of time to play and adjust to spin bowling, whereas they came less time to face the fast bowling. So this was the difference. So probably I think India should also start thinking in terms of having fast bowling oriented pitches in their country as well, in order to get the results in their favor. Because now most of the players across the globe, they play IPL, so they have faced the spin bowling in Australia. So whenever they come to subcontinent now, they are not alien to the conditions. So this is where I think there need to be a shift. There need to be a shift in the
I think
thinking of India.
the shift is already there. I saw some of the Ranji Trophy matches which was being telecast live. I was surprised to see some of the wickets actually very lively, green top wickets, and the batsmen were playing there and fast bowler. They were very happy to bowl on that. So let's go back to Test cricket. I mean, unfortunately, Pakistan is not in contention. They are like ranked number 7. One of the reasons they don't take it as a very serious matter, Test cricket. Look at that. Pakistan is going to play South Africa in a few weeks. And South Africa, in current form, they're a very good team. And after that, they're going to play 2 tests against West Indies. And the best
I think it
indication
is
for
going.
yeah,
I think it is
the
going
best
to be very, very difficult for Pakistan. You have very rightly said this thing. But I think if I analyze this thing for the last 5 to 6 years, if you look at the way Pakistan cricket is being handled or governed by the respective chairman, look, in 5 to 6 years' time, there have been 5 to 6 chairmen have been changed, and so
Let me ask you,
and
how many chairmen you have
they
worked with? How many chairmen you have
yeah.
worked with?
Look. I mean, Najam Sethi came for 2 months. Zaka Ashraf came for 3 months, and then now Mohsin Naqvi is there. Ehsan Mani came for 4 years. Ramiz Raja, came for about hardly 3 to 4 or 6
Unbelievable.
months. So when at the top level, at the helm of the
Yeah. Mhm.
the affairs, if if you are there is no continuity, then you cannot accept results, and then there is no emphasis on the domestic cricket, which is the main, the producing, you can say, field for the cricketers. If you don't have your first class cricket, where these young cricketers come and start learning the art of cricket. I was just watching these Pakistani cricketers playing now against Zimbabwe, or against the other teams. Uh, at their back, some of them have hardly played any first class cricket. They have played about 4 to 5 T20 cricket matches, and they are playing for Pakistan. There is hardly any one day cricketer who has played more than 20 or 15 domestic matches, and they are playing for Pakistan cricket. So, to, to get themselves ready for the international cricket, you learn this art at the domestic level. But once you do not play at the domestic level, and all of a sudden you are asked to play at the international level, it takes time. That is why, if you see Pakistan batters or bowlers, they are taking time. Look at this fast bowler who has been excelling in the T20 cricket. In Australia, at times, Haris Rauf. I'm talking about how Haris Rauf.
Yeah.
He has hardly played any first class cricket. Shadab Khan hardly played any first class cricket. And if you compare it with other cricketers of the other countries, the bowlers, they have played so many first class crickets, and also they are not playing in the test level. So this is where the problem is. Our cricketers start learning the art while playing at the international level, which is not the case. So this is where Pakistan has been, hampered for the last 5, 10 years, because there is no vision, there was no
Yeah.
goal to set these things right. There is no club cricket. So until unless Pakistan cricket boards, or those who are at the helm of the affairs, they do not focus on this, Pakistan will suffer. We have only 20 to 25 players under their fold. I mean, how long they can go? Some of them decline. Babar Azam not performing, Rizwan not performing, then you don't have batters in the side. So they have to start thinking about it, because I have seen a lot of technical flaws. All these young players coming and playing for Pakistan in this series against Zimbabwe as well. So on good pitches you can survive, but look at Australia. When there was some seam and bounce, they had no clue at all.
Yeah, I mean, you'll be. I mean, I'm sure you know that the touring Pakistan team, they have three spinners. Only Abrar has played first class cricket. Other two has not played not a single first class game, and they are spinner. Spinner. I mean, they developed their art playing long, like a 4 day cricket or 3 day cricket, when they bowl like a 15 20 hours in a day. And these two youngsters, they haven't played a single first class cricket, and they are representing Pakistan. Unbelievable.
Yeah,
And
this
same time,
that is
yeah.
exactly, that is what I told you about it. Those
Yeah.
left arm
So at the
Chinaman and
same
Kohli
time,
spinners. I mean, one played
yeah,
in the Faisal Akram played the ODI, and now this Sufyan Mukim is playing here. I mean,
yeah,
except for this Abrar, I mean, they hardly played any first class cricket. Like you
they don't
just
play
said,
that.
that
They
yeah,
have not played any
in
first
one
class
day,
cricket.
yeah, in one day cricket or in T20 cricket, look, in T20 cricket you bowl 4 overs. In one day cricket you bowl only 10 overs. So where is the room for improvement? Where would you
Exactly.
get the chances to improve your
To
bowling?
experiment
Because
something.
in first class cricket, you bowl 20 overs a day. If you play about 5 to 8 games, you have bowled enough number of overs. Your muscles get tuned up. You know where to bowl. You know how to control the flight of the ball. But in a shorter format, you don't try to get wickets. You try to save runs. That is where your
Exactly.
skills
Yes.
of bowling would not be developed. And that is why you will keep on going flat, keep on bowling flat. And if the pitch is slightly indifferent, you will survive. But it's
Yeah.
flat, then
Mhm.
there is no respite for the bowlers.
No. So we another evidence that how serious we take Test cricket is like Pakistan team is going to play South Africa, very strong team. Like this young, tall, fast bowler Jensen is great form with Rabada, and then we're going to play against West Indies. But First class cricket going on Pakistan. I mean, Qaidans Trophy is in progress. But where is the Babar? He's not playing any match. He is not playing any first class game. Is he playing any test cricket? I mean, first class game? No. Where is our red ball cricket captain, Shan? He's not playing Qaidans Trophy. Where is Shaheen? Where is Naseem Shah? So they're not playing first class cricket. What are they doing nowadays? They're not in Zimbabwe. So that is tell us that how serious we are for test cricket. I remember
Yeah,
your
I
days.
think yes, I
Yeah, I
think you have a
remember your
point
days.
there because as far
Go
as
ahead.
I am concerned, I have no idea about it. Maybe they are training in the academies or something. But look what they did this time. They have from uh, 8 or 10 teams. They have now introduced
18.
this new setup, this new first class format. Now 18 teams are playing first class cricket, and at
It's a
times about
joke.
4 to 5 teams they cannot even make their 11 players to make a squad. So I'm just perplexed that how come they think you bring in quality, you don't bring in quantity. You're spreading first class cricket easily. If I give you my example, I joined National Bank in 1972. I did not play a single game until 1976. I was 12th man. It was so difficult to play first class cricket at that time. And now every second, third player is a first class cricketer, and then there
Really?
is no infrastructure. They are playing on surfaces where they cannot use spikes. They don't have washrooms. They don't have proper facilities, and you have given them the status of first class cricket. So this is further damaging. And now you are asking these top players to go and play on those rotten surfaces. Who will guarantee that they will
Hmm.
remain fit by playing on those rotten surfaces, rotten grounds, where there is no even surfaces available over there. So this is problem. But on the other hand, they should be playing first class cricket. I mean, why? Every other cricketer, look, if a player doesn't get for the selection in the test team, straight away they go and start playing their first class cricket. Even in England, if you don't get into the playing 11, next day you are leaving for your county, and you leave the squad of England and you go and start playing county cricket. So you got to give importance to the first class cricket by bringing making them shorter. Quality players should be playing, and all those youngsters you are coming in, under 19s or 18 players, they should be part of that first class cricket, playing against their top players. This is how you learn the art of playing. If you're a batter, you play against Shah Afridi, you play against Haris Rauf, you play against Naseem Shah. If you are a if you are a bowler, you are bowling against Babar Azam, you're bowling against Rizwan. So this is how you develop your cricketers. And during our days, we used to have Sarfraz Nawab playing against us, Imran playing
Yeah,
against us, all these
I
top players
remember
playing against us. This is how
very
we learn.
well your days. I mean, there was United Bank, there was National Bank, there was PIA, and the
Yeah,
Habib Bank. I know those top teams, and you play against them. I remember that one of
yeah,
my friend, his one of his brother, you probably remember Arif Nakash. He was in one bank team, and he could not play into the playing 11 for a long time because there was so much competition. And I used to
yeah,
play
yeah,
for
yeah.
PNP club in Lahore, and there were so many good players. They could not go to Patent Trophy. I mean, two. I mean, grade two
Yeah.
even because there was so much competition. Now they're a team from Dera Murad Jamal or Larkana, and you can play for cricket. I mean, it's a
They,
joke. Okay, I think we can
they
talk
hardly
a
have
lot
the
about.
players. You would be surprised that I was just going through the first class records. The players who are playing veterans cricket, they are playing first class cricket for Larkana, Akbarur Rahman. He's about 40,
No,
42 years of age. And
yeah,
what is he going to contribute? For that matter, such players like him, I mean, are they going to, produce, world class players by playing
there is a
these players?
there's a fast bowler playing for Karachi. He's 40-year-old already. I think I know
Yeah.
he has played a lot of first
So,
class cricket, but I mean his time came and
yeah.
gone now.
Kapish Khan, you're
Exactly.
talking about, yes.
Yes, exactly. I mean he was a good, but I mean he's 40-year-old. He's not going to
Now
play
it's past
Pakistan.
his peak. He's past his peak. I mean, you need fresh faces, under
Exactly.
19 cricketers, under 23 cricketers, under 25 cricketers. make a bunch of these cricketers about 60 to 75, divide them into five cricket teams, and that should be your top class cricket.
Yeah, I mean, the last point, I think BCCI have enough money. They're spending like millions of rupees on these so-called mentors, and they're not spending enough money to develop, have more facility for first-class cricket. Is that a joke or what?
No, I think it's not true. I would say Pakistan also has got, PCB has got a lot of money. They have been spending a lot of money. I think players' wages have been, domestic players'
But you
wages
said
have been
there's
raised.
no facility in
Except
first-class
for
cricket.
the yeah. First, I'm talking about the first class team. I mean, their wages have been raised. I mean, all these now the first class cricketers on the average, their per annum income is about more than 3 million or 4 million, which is, I think, it's not bad by Pakistani standard. The only issue is that Pakistan cricket board has not been able to develop. I think I would not blame the Pakistan cricket board in that respect, because all these associations, all these departments, as per constitution, they are bound to develop their own grounds. Unfortunately, this aspect has been neglected. So they
Okay.
should be, given the lands to develop their own grounds, so they can organize their own cricket into their own grounds. Now we have about hardly 4 to 5 Test cricket grounds. That's it. So what happened to Hyderabad cricket ground? What happened to Bahawalpur cricket ground? I mean, all these associations, there are 16 cricket associations. They should have their own grounds of first class standard, like any other county, like any other state in Australia, or province in South Africa, or states or provinces in India. So they should now start focusing on that. I mean, PCB has been taking a lot of burden. They have the money, they are ready to spend, but they're not only spending but also governing and managing from Gaddafi Stadium. I mean, there are
Hmm.
106 district cricket associations. It is the
Oh. Hmm.
responsibility of the district cricket associations to manage their own things, but they are dependent on PCB. So this is the issue that we are facing in Pakistan. Until unless they don't resolve these issues, Pakistan is going cricket is going to suffer. There will be odd wins you will see. There will be odd victories you will see. But most of the time you will see there will be a decline because there is a raw talent. You see there is plenty of talent available in Pakistan, but nurturing at the domestic level, local level, that is missing.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Yeah, we have a great discussion. Haroon, thanks for explaining all the Pakistan cricket situation and potential solution to that. Thank you so much, and hopefully we'll see you again in some other time in coming weeks. Thank you so much.